Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Benganiva Om Be 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 Om Benza Gala Galaya Saram Bengani 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 Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Benganiva 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 Om Benza Sarvam Benganiva Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya 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 Sarvam Benganiva Om Be Om Benza Gele Gelaya Sarvam Vengane Bang Be. 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 Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be Om Benza Gala Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bang Om Be benza gele gelaya sarvam bengani bombe. Om 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 benza gele gelaya sarvam bengani bombe. Kilaya Sarvam Bengani Bambe Om Benza 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 Kilaya Sarvam Bengani Bambe 27. This is the room mantra reciting then the mantra chant like grace and descend mantra chant emanate from the mouth of your father is entered the mouth of the mother concert. Counter chakas and darkness in the concept for chakra are worked by the sounds of the mantra. From the sacred place of a concert is the mantra chant. Enter the Vajra of the Father. Throughout your chant and place the deity. Proclaim the songs of the mantra. The mantra chant dissolve into your heart. Om Benza Kilaya Za Hong Ba Hong Kadang Gaye Zaye Benzaye Anzet Aparan Zete Maras Nata Martaye Sarvam Bengane Ba Om Be Om Benza Kilaya Za Hong Ba Hong Kadang Gaye Zaye Benzaye Anzete aparanzete marasena tramartane sarvam bengane baombe Om benza gale galaya za hong bao kadangaye anzete Manzete aparanzete marasena tramartane sarvam bengane baombe Om benza gale galaya za hong bao Kadangaye zaye anze de benzaye aparanze marasana tramartaneye sarva dengane ba hombe om benza gale galay sa hom ba hom kadangaye anze benzaye anze de aparanze de marasana tramartan Sarvam Bengane Ba Hom Be Om Benza Gele Gelaya Sa Hom Ba Kadangaye Anze De Benzaye Kanza De Aparenze De Maras Ramardane Ye Sarvam Bengane Ba Hom Be Om Benza Gele Gelaya Sa Hom Ba Hom Kadangaye Zaye Benzaye Anze De Aparenze De Maras Ramardane Sarvam Bengane Ba Om Be Om Benza Gele Gelaya Za Om Ba Om Katanga Yen Zai Benzaye Anze De Aparenze De Marasena Tramardai Sarvam Bengane Ba Om Be Page 28. May the great and glorious Vajra Kilaya and his example of deities come here. Altar, inner, and sacred offerings are made. Praises relating to your body, speech, and mind, noble quality and constant activities. I confess all transgression, mistakes, distortion, and broken vows, and conscious by conscience. through your loving kindness, compassion, bestow spiritual attainment. Tibetan. Parje Burbe Lazoje, Senan Sanwen Chu Bambu, Gozong Tu Yun Chen Le Du, Pa Ming Gan Chen Yang Cha Sha, Tu Ji Zir Gong E Zhou Zhou. Om Benzar Sato Samaya Mani Palaya Benzar Sato Dino Ba De Chan Ren Me Bawa So De Kayo Me Bawa So Be Kayo Me Bawa Amera Do Me Bawa Sarvai Se De Mendraya Sarvai Karmai Se Zai Me Se Dan She Yang Kere Hong Aho Bangave Sarva Tatangata Benzara Mame Benzara Bama Samaya Sato. Page 31. Offering to the Kilaya protectors Ganachara. So now we're going into the Dharma protectors and Ganachara. So I share a little bit already morning about these protectors. So we have to visualize infinite as Vajra Kilaya. So we have to visualize ourselves as Vajra Kilaya. Then from the silver home in one's heart, so our heart center, home silver, leg rest arise to evoking the earth-bound Kilaya protector and the entire example. So then waking up all the Dharma protectors, especially Vajra Kilaya, these teachings protectors. Then from the individual abide, so we invited them in front of us. So the next, then Joe, the great Arya Pema Tontengsar means Pema Sambhava. So in whose presence you Kilaya protector made your promise. So the promise from Pema Sambhava. These protectors promise and the Pema Sambhava subdued. This I told you morning that many spirits, local gods can't just, according to what he have to do, this subdued them and promise they're protecting the teaching. So that kind of also Dhamma protectors too. Some other protector is emanation from Vajra Kilaya. Yesterday I shared with you all the entire mandala is Vajra Kilaya's emanation. So protector also Vajra Kilaya emanation. Then of course main date is Vajra Kilaya. And other 10 Rath force, 10 gatekeepers, so many different kind the retinones, they all is Vajra Kilaya's retinones. So they all is belong to Vajra Kilaya's mandala. So now we practice Vajra Kilaya, we creating our karmic imprints to Vajra Kilaya as mandala. So we have a delusion and conceptual thoughts. Long as we don't have enough bodhicitta, so these biggest two problems, delusion and no bodhicitta, then we are belong to samsara mandala. So Buddha's mandala must have to have two major quality, is bodhicitta and non-draw. Then you are belong to the citizen, different, Buddha, enlightened beings, mandala. So each this enlightened beings their own mandala, and we want to become part of that citizen. Then we need bodhicitta and we need a non-draw view. So without that, we cannot be in part of the this enlightened beings mandala. So now we using this sadhana practice, we creating our karmic imprints. Apply citizenship to enlightened beings mandala. So that's this practice. And then even we're going into the mandala, this the point is the protectors protecting the mandala. So who has a delusion, who's not belong to that, they cannot go into the mandala. That is like just point is beyond our perception capacity. Only the high realizer yogis has a vision of that. So there can sometimes there has this vision of there has their own experience. When they're going into mandala, the protectors protecting the, is the enlightened mandala. So same as we have a country has, all these protections. Each country there has own territory protections. Same, this protector, right now we practice that helps become we going into the mandala, they support us, not block us to go into the mandala. So actually right now we thinking and the thoughts is more and more beyond in that. Because we thinking about the protectors always be here somewhere and we helping something, remove obstacles. That's also okay, temporarily thinking. So absolute truly, the practitioners practice this yadam is when they die or when they realize they're going into the part of the mandala. Then these protectors, if there's someone who has obstacles, someone who don't belong to that, the protectors stop them, cannot go into that mandala. So that's why we have to practice, connect with to the protectors too. So the practice of yadam deity, we are joining, I already told you that the enlightened citizen, the part of our enlightenment, the mandala. So who has who has a immeasurable love and compassion, and then who has realized view, known door, that is naturally belong to the enlightened citizen. The part of mandala, naturally. So we don't have that kind of realize. We don't have that kind of practice level. So that's why we have to use this applied citizenship to go into the Buddha's mandala. When we die, create connections. So then that time, these protectors not block us. They're helping us to taking into the pure line mandala. So that's the true protectors. Then I told you morning, Pema Sambhava, the subdued this another protector. That protector is when we practice, remove obstacle, create some good conditions. This Vajra Kilaya, his Vajra Kilaya emanation protector is protecting the Vajra Kilaya mandala. So that is the actually regular protector also cannot go to that area. Regular protector is helping us create conditions for our practice, bring good energy and we connection to the practice, remove obstacles, that kind that can create supports another level, relative level, but true level, protector is always Vajra Kilaya's emanations, and then they're protecting the Vajra Kilaya mandala. So we're going into the Vajra Kilaya mandala, so we have to practice this, recognize Vajra Kilaya's emanation protectors. Then soul offering also, we practice non-drawer. So this enlightened mandala, we join there, we have to realize non-dualistic view. So now we practice the Cho is we create a non-drawer conceptual. Non-drawer, you know, the view, we create that karmic imprint. So then, yeah, also Vajra Kilaya, the essence practice is all is Vajra Kilaya is arising, you know, Dharma Dharto. So if we recognize absolute true nature, then this mandala also become our own emanation. Because the mandala is arising from the absolute true Dharma Dharta. It's a supplication this morning, lineage, practice, we talk about King the Zangbo, it's Dharma Kaya. So that we have that nature. So now we are deluded, we don't recognize. That's why we have become samsaric citizen. So now we, you know, practice this and go into absolute true nature, Dharmakaya nature, and then that is the, you know, become create or like go directly into, actually we are belong to that enlightened being a citizen, but we don't recognize, we deluded. So that's why we have to practice this creating connection, karmic imprints. So when we die, then realize. So also the individual level, so not always I think is the same happening everyone. Some practice in this life, Vajra Kilaya, and then create this karmic imprint. In the first Pardo, even you don't liberate in the Dharmakaya state, you don't liberate, but we have possible liberate in the Sambhonakaya state, second liberation state. So second liberation state, or this Yadam deity form is arising. So long as we recognize that, you know, appearance is Vajra Kilaya's form, then we have opportunity to liberate in the second status called Sambhonakaya state. So that's why we practice Vajra Kilaya, Yadam deity. This one has two opportunities. First state is Dharmakaya. So could be we have an opportunity to recognize Dharmakaya liberation. Because this essence or practice is Dzogchen Mahamudra. It's Dharmakaya state. We have opportunity to liberate in that state. If we don't get the liberate in that state, then someone always chant the mantra and visualize Yadam deities. That person has opportunity to liberate in the Sambhonakaya form, second state. So if we don't then liberate in that state, then go to again samsara could be. But still, if you go to samsara, someone have practiced Yadam deities, it's become different than ordinary beings, because you can choose the birth and better life you can choose. You can get better connections. The death is the same as like big intersection, you know, in Pardo. So the big intersection, many roads, you can go any place if you don't know which directions. So you can go just directions. Some directions take you to wrong direction, some directions takes right direction. All this direction is there. So that means we have all this karma. We have karma to take 6 rams, any place to take birth. We have that karma, but someone practices yadam deity, someone create accumulation merit, someone has more, virtuous deeds that can pick up, naturally comes better intersection, pick up the better road to take right birth. Do you understand? So that's the kind, we create so many different levels of connections. So we don't know what happens when we die, but just if we lose one opportunity, first state, we can pick up second one. If we lose second one, we have third choice. We lose third one, fourth. So better something happen. That's we get going to connections. Then, so this here is mentioned about many Dharma protector names. This mostly is the Vajra Kilaya's emanations. Then we go to page 32. Inviting these all protectors, offering to the Ombeza Pipe Hong Shabda Tratitsai Soha. We offering Mahapinsa Amarta Maharakta. We already talked with the explain. Ombeza Kilaya, Mohangataya, Mama Shidron Karma, Kara Sapara, Idambalinda Kakai. We offering to them, offering things. Then this next is we offering and also telling them, please, protect the teaching, benefit other beings, remove our obstacles. So subdue the negative beings, create good conditions, all the kind of like we giving to them what they have to do, protectors. Then page 34, we also press to the Vajra Kilaya, this Dharma protectors. This press to is Vajra Kilaya emanation, Dharma protector. So that's the part of this Dharma protector practice. So now we're going to practice together. We 31. Visualizing self-nature as Vajra Kilaya. From the syllable home is one's heart. Legs arise, evoke the Kilaya protector and enter assembly. From their individual abides. Tibetan. Ranye par jembo sarve toge hongye le songwe uzurji purzon damji kordan jeba jeba. The great Arya Pema Tontensa, in whose presence you Kilaya protectors made your promise. The 3 seeds, 4 sisters, the 4 strong Dakas, setting darkness and others. Pledge message countless in number and your retinue. By the power of your Samaya, come here to this place. Tibetan. Yo lo bon chen bo pe ma don drink Jingar purpe suma jarjibe Shona danye sabda se moje Jejin kinje ma zen bar ma so Parje ponya jamin kordan je Tamse wange nender sheshe Kilaya mohan gataya Mama Shirang Karma Kara Sapara Varan Benza Samayada Om Benzara Pipe Dipe Aloke Gende Nevet Shabda Rade Kayo Benza Amrita Kahe, Maharakta Kahe, Om Benza Kilaya Mohangatai, Mama Shudron Karma Karaya Saparewar, Idam Balinda Gaga Kaye Kaye, Om Benza Kilaya Mohangataya, Mama Shudron Karma Karaya Saparewar, Idam Balinda Gaga Kaye Kaye, Om Benza Kilaya Mohangataya Mamash Karma Sapare Vara Edam Balinda Gaga Gaye Gaye. The true Vajra Kilaya, all the bond protectors and the entire assembly, please partake of this sacred and pure offerings. Protect the Buddha's doctrine. Honor the situation of the three precious jewels. Uphold the spiritual heritage of the Sangha and the Dharma. Remove the trouble of samsara. Increase the happiness and benefit of beings. Assist our practitioners. Accomplish constant activity for all upholds of the sacred mantra. Control enemies arising from aversion. Destroy harmful obstacles. In particular, pacify disorder, inner and secret non-conducive circumstance of the group of Samaya holders. Increase the spirit conducive circumstance and all excellent aspirations. Save the accomplish the constant activity of all common and spiritual attainment without exception. Go back to Tibetan. Pursong, the 32, page 32. Pursong, Damji, Junyin, Kordan, Jeba, Namji, Chuba, Damban, the Yila, Sanje, Demba, Song, Conchoga, Wampang, Tu, Gending, Dang, Chije, Jarse, Chong, Jitin, Gupa, Sir, Simjin, Pende, Per, Namjoroba, Namje, Dongro, Zu, Nanchang, Namjen, Chenle, Drop, Danwe, Ja, Tur, Nepe, Gek, Chom, Chepar, Dancing, Derndepa, Nam, Senang, Sanwen, Garjin, Shewat, Tenji, Membe, Leizo, Tamje, Perje, Jeba, Dang, Chodan, Tumong, Nudro, Maleba, Yordan, Rep, Chenlen, Zuje. Home, glorious Kilaya, protectors who order to the commander and uphold the Samaya. Shana Seda Sadama, Kinchin, Messing, and your messengers, adorned with the terrifying channel grown ornaments, possess unimpeded wrath for display of constant action. Press this automatic example and retinue. Accomplish or require activity. Tibetan Hong Par Jian Chang Dong Ge La Ye Gan Yin Song Ma Dang Zai Jin Shou Na Dan Ye Sab Da Ma Kin Jie Ma Sen Po Nya Jie Ngam Ji De Zhu Jin Cha Jin To Mie Zha Zha Ren Chen Le Da min kordan jela tu jorvele na no, it's Ganachara. Ganachara on a jewel offering on the falling bead of 1,000 petal lotus are the Ganachara offering. Upping a sun, moon, and the lotus is blazing blue black home from which Ram Yam come and arise bones and which are all the impurities. Hong Ma Om Ma So Lang An Da Hong Da Om A Hong Om A Hong Om A Hong. Romo. To accomplish Kilaya of existence and to receive empowerment and spiritual attainment. Wrath for expressions, promoter of wisdom, please come here. Wrath for expression of promoter of wisdom by coming. Display the signs and the symbols and bestow the spiritual attainment of Kilaya. Om Ahom. The altar, inner and secret vessel, and the altars are pastely arranged as enjoyment blessed by the Ganachara. To the glorious one, his concert, entire assembly, and the 10 wrathful ones. One the concerts as well as the Kilaya protectors. This is offered to please fulfill your commitment in the sphere of truth. Please partake of this. Gana Chakra Mahanjana Punja Ho. So now we're going to with the drum together. So this part is we inviting Vajra Kilaya and all the retinones because we're going to offer in the Cho. So is same as enlightened beings party. So we have to inviting all enlightened beings. So enlightened being we inviting create a party. What we have to qualify. Our qualify is no door. Then you really have, truly you can party with these enlightened beings. But we don't have that kind of realization, so we create, this also karmic imprints too. So also have a different levels. So our capacity, we create a pure, perception, means so substantial also something like for pure things, not something not suitable for us, because we have a dualistic conceptual. Enlightened beings, non-door means they don't have anything impure, everything is pure. So that's why when I was in Mexico, in the stupa, we talked about soul offering. When Achi is enlightened, so during that moment, she bring the cup and use the soul offering. The human being's cup is soul offering, and who don't have that kind any drops. So they use soul offering, they get enlightenment. Who has a dualistic conceptual, they are stuck in samsara. So who don't have dualistic conceptual and they use that soul offering is enlightenment. So sometimes, you know, this special, I mean, like some practitioners have all the conviction comes ready to enlightenment. They really can benefit many others. That moment, you also have opportunity to enlighten if you become, you know, get the convictions. So Achi is enlightened. That moment she have all this conviction comes, she has a, you know, how to say, the ability or benefit, can take all her student together to enlightenment. So then some student has dropped because it's a human being called, oh, I cannot use this. Some didn't have that dropped thought. They use that because the substantial is actually liberating, you know, liberating substantial conditions. So eating liberation, if you eat that, you liberate. The condition comes. So all this aspiration or auspicious. So many auspicious condition comes. Sometimes you have that kind of condition to liberate. That is very hard to happen. So when it's happening, could be, she think about Achi is ready to enlightenment. That moment she used this miraculous power and bring the core, and who has, you know, capacity to use that core is actually not a core. That is actually, you know, for the liberating, eating liberation. Long as you eat that, you liberate. But some who has dropped, I mean, who has dualistic conceptions, they don't recognize that. Oh, this is a core, I cannot eat. So then they're stuck in samsara. So who don't have that drops, who has very strong devotion, and even they don't have realization, you have a trust and the connections, or this condition comes, you have an opportunity to liberate that moment. So that kind of sometimes happen. So some teachers, if they bring you something like that, just eat. Doesn't matter what happens. No doubt, okay? But very hard to happen that. The condition not easy to arise, you know. Otherwise, we have to realize. It's so hard to realize, right? The condition, even you don't have realized, you know, you all this auspicious and enlightenment create these conditions. So you are part of that group. You have opportunity to liberate. That's why, you know, when we have realizers with practice thought, also very important. So realizer has more connect with the enlightened beings. And then you thought offering, using, practicing, that has very strong connections. So also when we practice thought means like Sangha is very important, Samaya. Samaya is condition is not right, then you lose this all auspicious conditions. So that's part we really don't recognize. Our ordinary, we don't know when is this condition is happening. The condition is all so many causes like dependent on their conditions. You know, sometimes that condition comes. We don't know when it's happening, when it's coming. So that's why thought offering is called non-dualistic. Actually, party, we inviting all these enlightened beings, then we offering everything. That time you don't have like conceptually like dualistically, okay, this I can offer, this I cannot offering, because everything is transformed to the pure. So nothing is impure there. Everything is a pure create. But we have to follow by, first beginners like conceptual and mind. We cannot do whatever the thought says. So we just create some our levels, capacity. Have to follow that first step. Then you can even you conduct this substantial. Even you don't have that, but you can mentally bring too in the mind. So the point is, so whatever is there, you have to eat. Especially when the thought of practice, we bring things like not normally using object. Some in the thought prayers talk about 5 great meat. The 5 great meat is normally we don't eat because we think that meat is bad. So you have judgment, like you have conceptual. This is good, this is bad, right? So that's called dualistic thoughts. And the thought offering, we bring this 5 great meat. It's called 5 great meat. It's elephant, horse, dog, human beings. And then what is another one? Tasha, Masha, Chisha, Tam, Palangsha is cow. See this cow. The four the meat is usually nobody eat. We think it's very dirty something, it's we not possible to just regular. Generally we eat, right? But when you use the thought offerings, the practitioners bring this 5 great meat. But this transforming, is called pure. Become no more like our perception, dog meat, human beings meat, cow's meat, but it's actually liberation, eating liberation objects. The non-dualistic conceptual, the point is no same is our perception. So example, we talked about Achi, when she's enlightened, she bring corpse for use of the thought offering. For her, that is no corpse. Not any dirty, it's pure, it's liberation object. So for ordinary people, it's dirty, human beings corpse, not possible to eat, right? So that kind of, we have conceptual thoughts. Non-dualistic view is totally different than our right now experience with thoughts, we think. So that's why very hard to think about what Buddha's activities, because our capacity is dualistic capacity, dualistic thinking. So no door is everything is beyond us. So now we make decision everything our capacity, right? Okay, this is right, this is wrong. Okay, when it's become Buddha, yeah, like this kind of happening, yeah. So you create yourself, and bring something into your mind. Conceptually, your decisions, making decisions. That is actually incorrect, 100% incorrect. It's a wrong idea. So, right now we have a human being's body. We have a very small eye, small ears, nose. If we don't see this eye, see the object, we think it not exist. So we don't hear these ears, then no sounds. But one day you have bigger eye or something different eye, you see something different. So think about the nighttime, the one birds can see whole night. Daytime become dark, right? So always it's changed. So then the birds, what I named the nighttime seeing birds, our thing is only everyone can see nighttime. No one can see daytimes. That is wrong, right? Only our perception. We think only sentient beings can see the daytimes. No one can see the nightimes. So that is our perceptions. So we can make decision ourselves, but that's also wrong, right? Okay, so cows thing, the grass is a really good test. It's a nutrition. It's perfect food. So cow think grass is a perfect food for all the beings? No, right? For us, no. For food, we cannot eat grass. So grass is not for our food. That's also say is cows thinking is right? No, right? It's only for that they're making decisions. So that's why whatever we make decision is wrong. So no right. So everything is bring the mind and making decisions. We talk to people and then they say, what happened in enlightenment? And they talk discussions, then they say, okay, yeah, like that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense for you is, for us, is truly not make sense for no-door beings. Enlightened beings, 100% is become wrong. Makes sense for cow, no make sense for human beings. So that's why we making decisions is wrong ideas, wrong thinking. So one day you get enlightenment or mean the non-dualistic view is totally different. So that's the, we creating our karmic imprints, non-dual conceptual karmic imprint view, practice thought. Then this thought has, inviting all these enlightened beings. Then we offering thought to the enlightened beings. Second is like offering, thought offering, enlightened beings. Before we eat, we offering to the enlightened beings. Then we, karma is for fear the enlightened beings. For fear enlightened being, because we does everything is a mistakes. So this drawing action is like correct for fear the enlightened being. And then we do also confession, because our delusion, is here is in the sphere of truth, I confess clinging to the mental projections. So that's confession is our delusion. Delusion is I already told you the wrong view. We confessing to the enlightened beings. Then on benza Kilaya, Dragin Nuzi Zahong Bahong. So 38. So it's called liberated. Liberating our dualistic conceptual. We can say we can liberating our emotions, we liberating our thoughts, we liberating our conceptual thoughts, liberating. Then liberating, we can focus our emotion, and we also can, practitioners like mentally, the visualize also negative beings also liberating too. So someone who harming for others, create negative karma. So we also focus that auto level kind of enemy is who create negative conditions for other beings. So that kind also can be the, is liberating too. The point is we have to think our emotion liberating is the best way. So liberation prayer, we also usually the what we have to is and then this kind of, in the plate, one piece of thought put in the plate, liberating usually, and then use this purva, it's visualizing is liberating. First we subdued all our emotions, negative beings, subduing. Subduing means like actually it's killing negative beings. So we killing our negative emotions too. Then after, this is representative like in the chant we this morning sadhana talk about the attachment is the same as our flesh. You know, anger is the same as our bones, and then blood is the same as ignorance. So this three poison is represented with this negative being's body, subduing, and then offering to the enlightened beings. So it's called liberating, subduing and liberating. That is the soul is called portion to be liberated. The offering to the mouth of the deity is the page 40. It's become the liberating negative, or is offering to the enlightened beings. So now we subdued, you know, our emotions. So visualize the form body, and then that is liberating, offering to the Vajra Kilaya. So the point is our emotion all is become used for soul offerings. Then negative beings also used for soul offerings, enlightened beings, liberating them. So it's a very special method, and someone who has realized, you know, Vajra Kilaya, accomplishment Vajra Kilaya practitioners, they can subdue the negative beings and liberating to offering. Then the negative person also not get negative karma to suffer in samsara. Because all negative emotion, negative karma is offerings, transform to change. So that's another case, you know, the practitioner, some very high level is then also that person when does this performing, many have congregation have to come together. But even they have practitioners, if congregation didn't come, then they cannot really liberate and subdue that too. So it's laws, causes, congregation have the connections to subduing too. We talked about all enlightened beings has compassion, hope. The lasso, I think lasso, right? So we need hope. Tepa alone means we need the connection. We need hope. This all enlightened beings is a lasso. So without hope, then even enlightened beings has a lasso, we cannot hook up there. So same, positively, you know, long hope is the same as our devotion connections. And enlightened being lasso is compassion to possible to connection comes, liberate us. You know, that is positive through the devotion. Another case, negative beings also subduing means also have some conditions come to subdue them. Not that people does negative, you can subdue. They also have a condition, you know, this same is hope, devotion, same thing. That person also needs something, connection comes. So then you can liberate, you can, you know, subdue and liberate. But otherwise, without that condition all comes, even someone create negative karma, we just nothing to do. So that's why so many negative beings in the world that destroys the world, create so much suffering in the human beings and many other beings. So happening that often cannot subdue because condition, even there has enlightened practitioners there, but they cannot subdue them because the have many. If you have that power, but other also need connections too, some levels connections. So without that, you cannot benefit. So this is this part of the subduing and the liberation offering. Then you subduing beings also not suffering. They are liberating them become. So who can subdue these negative beings? Who can liberate? The point is someone, what is the Pema Sambhava? His guru, Pema Sambhava's guru told the Pema Sambhava. Pema Sambhava told him, I have realized everything is a delusion. So his guru, Pema Sambhava's guru told him, you recognize delusion is still not liberating. So someone take your life, you don't have any fears. Then you have the liberating realization. You can subdue the other beings. So then you're killing someone, you don't have a negative karma. Otherwise, you recognize everything is a delusion, but still you're killing others, have karma, negative karma. But then someone come to killing, come to you, and you don't have any fears. You don't have for escape for death. You realize you not dying. If you have that realization, then he told him you can subdue the others. Otherwise, you cannot subdue the other beings. So that's the Pema Sambhava's teacher told Pema Sambhava. Subduing liberation means who are free from death. And death, birth, they are not exist for that person. Then someone come to that person to take life, there are no fears, no scared. Then that person has that kind of, is a realization. It can benefit others. So otherwise we say, okay, I recognize emptiness, still not liberating other beings. So then after this offering, we can eat the soul ourselves. Then so we eat after, so it's a reminder. So we collect some pieces and then they're giving to other beings. Whose other beings? Some beings not belong to, they don't have capacity to, and the part of the mandala. So called reminder means we caring for some who don't have a karma connect with like the mandala. So we're giving to them, sharing for them. I think they also use that create a connection to the mandala. So offering reminder, offering to them. That is page 41. Then home yin. Then page 42 is called Tema, Chendo and Tema offerings. So that's two is always after Cho offering, because Pema Sambhava, he subdued many these protectors, and when he went to in Tibet, from Nepal to in Tibet, they have the Tema, offering. Tema means also there's some that time Pema Sambhava went into Tibet. This Tema is another spirit. So he subdued them. He told them, don't create anything for the Dharma practitioners. And he said, I give you offering the, food for them. So that's we offering to them, Temas. And he asked them protector for the practitioners. Then dance of suppressions. So dance of suppression is hone the sixth cause of the conflicting emotion, the accumulation of four or habitual propensities generated by lack of awareness beneath the mount Simaru of empty awareness, something I don't know. Self-originated emptiness awareness. So that's subduing and negative conditions, subduing and press down, negative conditions press down. Hong lam tambaya ni. So that's the soul offering practice. Okay, so now we go to the soul offering. Where we are? 35. Okay, 35. We did English, right? We did English, yeah?
Bottom page 35, the invocation.
Yeah, invocation. We did already English or not yet?
Yeah. We did that, didn't we? I think so. Yes, we did that.
We did English. No, it's Tibetan, okay?
Yeah.
Om Sipe Purva Bata Wang Dang Zhou Lang Wei Ser Yi Xie Zhou Wo Xie Se Ser Yi Xie Zhou Wo Xie Ne Jiang Da Dang Zai Ma Den Ba Dang Kilaya Yen Ge inner and secret vessel and the contents are perfectly arranged. As enjoyment blessed by the Ganachara, to the glorious one his concert, entire assembly, and the 10 wrath for one, with the concert as well as the Kilaya protectors. This is offered to pleasingly fulfill your commitment in the sphere of true blessing, partake of this. Gana Chakra Mahanjana Punza Ho Hong A Hong Se Nai Noi Ju Sang Wa Yong Ku Pe Hong Chung Gana Zai Zhar Sin La Ba Par Chin Ya Yong Khor Dan Je Ba Dang Cho Je Ya Yong Pur Song Je Lam Pur Tho Da Yin Se Gan Ser Yin Se Home, fulfill for all kings your obligation. Fulfill the obligation of appearance, the mere principle. Fulfill the obligation of emptiness, the female principle. Fulfill through the great play of non-duality. Home, when self is original self-arising display of pure awareness, without confusion, free from discursive thought. Damage and features are liberated in their own place. In the sphere of truth, I confess clinging to mental projections. Tibetan. Om Gang O Ga Bar Do Dang Gang Nang Wa Yab Je Do Dang Gang Dong Ba Yom Je Do Dang Gang Ni Mi Ro Ba Chin Bi Gang Hong Dan E Ye Ni Ran Zong Rei Zar Ngang Che Mi Do Dar Nyam Ja Ran Zar Zor Samaya Manopalaya Mebala Titano Mebala Sukaya Mebala Sukaya Mebala Amarato Mebala Mebala Saya Mebala Mebala Kurayan Kuraya Udamari Saya Deza Mani Maka Deza Dana Samaya Benza Kilaya Drabgay Nazi Sahong Ba The time has come for the great Samaya. The time has come for the great emanations. The time has come for the great The time has come for Shanamaka. The time has come for Chemo. The time has come for Seda Chemo. The time has come for your Samaya to be enacted. The time has come for you to show your power by generating the supreme awakening mind in the heritage of victorious one of the three times. Concerning we are the privilege holders, or harmful, mischievous enemies and hindrances, demons and the house of obstacle creators, robbers of spiritual attainment, or the harm by the blessing of the great wrathful ones, are instantly summoned here. In the manner of manifest action, liberate them and by reducing their body and speech to dust, make them experience suffering. Tibetan, Om, the page 38. Om Tam Se Jem Iti La Pa, Bai Jem Iti La Pa, Sa Ni Jem Iti La Pa, Shong Nam Ege Ti La Pa, Ba Ni Jem Iti La Pa, Sa Dai Jem Iti La Pa, Chu Ji Dam Se Ti La Pa, De Zar Song We Ti La Pa, San Chong Chou De Sen Ji Jing, De Song Jia Rui Dong Tso Pe, Ren Zeng Dai Jia Nam La Ni, Nu Jing Tu Pe Tra Dang Ge, De Dang Par De Chu Pe So, Pe Zhong Cho Jing Se Wan Nam, Cho Wo Jing Pe Sing La Pi, Yo Zang Jin En De Kong La, Min Ju Cir Yin Jar Wa Dang, Ling A Dor De Jing Ne Jiang, Dong Ar Nyam Se Nyong War Zu. Om Benza Kilaya Drabgay Tamsa Maraya Hong Bei Om Benza Kilaya Drabgay Tamsa Maraya Hong Bei Om Benza Kilaya Drabgay Tamsa Maraya Hong Bei. Home, great glorious one, and encourage open your mouth. The liberate five skandals of enemies and hindrances to the male and female great glorious one, the 10 wrathful one, and your entire example are offered to your mouth. Partake of all these harmful enemies, harm does not their intended, without leaving so much as an atom behind. Om Parjin Korje Shar Si She Jagwe jarwe ngabonde Parche yavion troje dang Trozo trepe sharde do Jagwe ye my parents road So here, page 40 says, make them experience suffering. So we have to make them suffering, the negative beings. We have to, otherwise they're not going to learn. So there's the realizer, so who can subdue these negative beings, they have extremely compassion for the negative beings. Then negative beings, they never learn. So they don't get under their own experience. So that's why they bring them to recognize the suffering, and then they don't live there because they're liberating. So you have to recognize here, after this offering to the mouth on the deity means, then they become negative beings offering to the enlightened beings. It's liberating. The point is liberating them. We first they make them experience the suffering. So now you humming for other beings. So now you recognize your own experience. Then recognize them. Yeah. So if we have a power to do that, we have to recognize many beings in the world. Many we have negative beings. We bring them to recognize the suffering. Then we can liberate, to them. So liberating, there also we have enough compassion, immeasurable compassion. Without that, it cannot liberate other beings too. Not only we think it's wrath for power, the point is compassion. So recognize these negative beings is really have extremely compassion to them. Then they recognize the suffering and the liberating. So now that's the soul offering. Now we have to eat the soul offering. Please offer the soul. I think looks like we have to get our own souls. I'm going to get my souls. Oh. No patience. We have to chant the Vajra mantra. Benzar Sato Samaya Mani Balaya Benzar Sato Dinoba Dijanando Me Bava Ayo Ambikayo Me Bava Anerado Me Bava Sarva Siddhe Menjaya Sarvai Karma Siddhai Me Siddhan Shiyang Kuru Hong ho bangave sarva dadangata benzar mame benzar ba ma samai sado om benzar sado samaya mani balaya benza sado dinoba tijandro me ba so de kayo me bava, so be kayo me bava, anerado me bava, sarva siddhe minjayan, sarva karma siddhai me siddhai shayan karo ho bangave, sarva dadangata, benzar mame Benzar Bama Samaya Sado Om Benzar Sado Samaya Nibalaya Manzar Sardon Zinoba, the Don Don Meba, the Gayon Mega, the Gayon Amerado Meba, Sarva Zid Jayan, Sarva Karma Zai Me Zidan Jayan Kuru, Ho Bangave. Sarva Tadangata Benzara Mame Benzara Bama Samaya Sato Alalaho Om Benza Sato Hom Om Benza Sato Hom Benza Sato Benza Sato Benza Sato Om 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 Benza Sato Zato, Menza Zato, Menza Zato, Menza Zato, Thomas, Menza Zato, colleagues, Menza Zato, Menza Zato, Menza Zato. Om Benza Sato, 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 Om Benza Sato. Om Benza Sato, 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 Om Benza Sato. Om Benza Sato, 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 Om Benza Om Benza Sato, 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 Om Benza Om Benza Sato, 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 Om Benza Om Benza Sato, 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 Om Pema Sambhava prayer. Orjin Rumbo Jelai Sorwan Den Garchen Garchen Nanjong Shen Tenjen Samban Draba Chodang Tumong Drop Sor Tisom Sanjen Guru Rumbo Chen Drop Genda Dewa Jembe Parche Kinsara Dindara Chapu Sar Sorwan Depso Sinje Lapta Senang Sanwe Parche Shewa Dan Samba Lenjen Drapar Sinje Lo the prayers in the daily prayer we have. So now it's finished already. Let's bring here. So now we're going to do the reminder. Om Akar Om Organ Sarva Dharmana Aden Depe Natude Om Ahong Be Soha. Om. The first portion was offered to outside. Bestow the soul fulfill the Vajra brothers and sisters. Finally, by the dharma of the remains, may the needs of all fully deciphered. Etc. Baling Kaya. Can you offering this one also? Oh no. Arise, arise from the sphere of truth, arise. I implore you, or gently implored. Dorje Yon, your entire example, and face for experience, mentalizing and wrath for action. Hong Jo, those of this world and beyond. Commander, protectors, upholding Samaya, recalling your prayers out. Partake of and enjoy this Dharma and connect consent activity. Joy in this phenomena, world of experience. Local goddess of the place, come here to this place, but partake of this decorated Dharma. Accomplish your appointed tasks. So we go to Tibetan, page 41, bottom. Om yen ye yen ye yen ne yen go lo ne ne go dorje jen gorje na xie jie wan zha le zu Hong Jun Ji Din De Dang Man De Pe Ga Ye Song Ma Dang Zai Ji Min Je Da Zai Ji Gong La Dor Ma Long Xian Chen Len Zu On the six causes of the conflicting emotions, the accumulation of four circumstances, or habitual pursuits generated by lack of awareness. Beneath empty awareness, completely and ceaselessly experienced. Tibetan. Nhớ môi chư trôi chín yơ thô ma rê kỳ chi ba cha na ran zong rê tông rê ra wo yơ zô ban zam e bar ni ong a hong lam tam ba ya ni Om Benzai Gule Gulaya Sarvam Bengani Ba 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 So now go to page 28. Yes. 28 is the dissolution stage. The example of deity overall embracing kindness, naturally dissolving into the experience of the five color light. The five lights are the luminosity of complete enjoyment. The vessel and the contents dissolve into the experience of the Dharmakaya. Tuje Kinja La Zona Ranye Onge Long De Onga Long Ju Zosarwa Doju Jiankor Long De meditate. Dedication, page 29. By the body, speech, and mind of myself and others, whatever of the true accomplishments have been amassed in the three times, are dedicated to perfect transformation, the great purity. May the result of the indivisible nature be obtained. Da yin le nga yu song je, di song zo ni je sa ba, jur zo yang da jen bo ngo, ngo wo ni min je do shu. Oh, may there be the good fortune of the originally pure, spontaneously vast Dharmakaya. Oh, may there be the good fortune to remain in the self-originating illumination Sambhonakaya. Om, may there be the good fortune of virtues Nirmanakaya, manifestation of term sentient beings. Should remain in the skillful means of the compassion of loving kindness. Tibeti, with the drum Om Chiga Gada Lin Yang Tra Shi Ne A Long Ge Ran Zong Wu Sar Ngang De Shou Om Chiga Na Zong Zhong De Tra Shi Ne Zhe Tang Ge Tu Ji Qin Ye Ngang De Bezagale Kilaya Sarva Bengani Bahombe Om 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 Benzagale Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bahombe Om Benzagale Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bahombe Om Benzagale Galaya Sarvam Bengani Bahombe Om Benza Kala Kalaya Sarvam Bengane Bahombe. 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 Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you. We finish it the Vajra Kilaya teaching and practice. Next week we have more
Kampola.
Vajra Kilaya.
Thank you, Kampola.
More
Thank
detailed.
you. Gracias, Salgado.
Thank
Thank you, Kempo.
Wait a
you,
second.
thank
I
you,
think.
Kempo.
Wait a second. I think Kempo's trying to say something.
Say something.
What were you saying, Kempo? Please.
I already said.
Oh, we couldn't hear you.
When will you have question and answers, Kempo?
Yeah, there's a couple questions.
Okay, Lisa.
Okay, Kempo, I know this is a wrathful practice here, but I got a little confused on what we are to do with negative beings. It talks about subduing and making them suffer. Do we subdue them first and then make them suffer? Or do we make them suffer and then subdue them? And why does it have to be that way? Because you can subdue negative beings without causing them suffering.
I think we have to subduing and make suffering and then liberating.
Well, if they're subdued, why do you have to make them suffer?
Because they have to recognize that they need a confession. Then that's a confession. Otherwise, they don't confession. They don't regret.
Okay, thank you, Kempo.
You're welcome.
I have to go.
Then Laming. Laming, you have a question?
Me? Can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yesterday, when you talk about the bodhicitta, and you said the bodhicitta is not about compassion or loving kindness. Bodhicitta is about liberating people and liberating. If we do not liberate, how can we have bodhicitta to liberate other people? So is it that mean we have to liberate first, then to have bodhicitta, or how can we not liberate but still have bodhicitta? Because you long time ago you were talking about Mahamudra, and you said that the Mahamudra in the bodhicitta, the stage at the beginning is all convenient. It's not true bodhicitta. So when you were liberate other, you said that the bodhicitta is not about compassion, about loving kindness. Bodhicitta is about liberate other. I just want to know, how do you liberate other when you yourself is not liberate? That means we will never have bodhicitta, isn't it? If we are not liberate.
Lame, your question is very profound, so take really long time to give answer. Not that easy. So compassion is, I said, not bodhicitta means like we have a, how to say, limited compassion. So conceptual, limited, and attachment compassion. Also, we just wanted to help people. That kind of compassion is not only called bodhicitta. The immeasurable compassion and bodhicitta is similar.
So do you have to have bodhicitta, true bodhicitta, to help others, or you are just convenient to help others? Because you don't have the immeasurable compassion to you. Then how do you liberate others if you don't have that inside?
So I have to think about how to do that. I think we have to ask like some enlightened beings. that I cannot give you answer, Lame, because I don't have
So
that
when-
bodhicitta, so that's why I don't know how to liberate them.
So whenever we say about we have to have
Actually, yeah, the bodhicitta, who has the bodhicitta, then they can liberate others. And we doing practices like we creating the contradiction, I mean the karmic imprints mentally, you know, we creating that.
So
Yes.
when we were trying to help others, it's really not bodhicitta. It's just a little bit of loving kindness here and loving kindness there. But
So
when
that
you
becomes grow and the strong is become source of the bodhicitta.
okay, so you just going stronger.
Yes.
So the liberation is still accumulating. Isn't it? Liberation is a processing of
Yes,
accumulating.
Yes, yes.
So it's not just suddenly enlightenment.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Josie Chan.
Hi, Kenpo. Thank you for teaching. Okay, so in the text there, I think on page 32, when we got there, you did some hand mudras, right, for the offering part, like maybe the Om Benza Pupe Dube Alok. Can you show me that again and like just tell me like what each of them means?
Oh, so the argam is, if you don't really have to do hand mudra, then you know not that important hand mudra. Sometimes we focus too much hand mudra and forget the meaning of the prayer. So the hand mudra is actually every tradition. I mean the different lineage does a little different, slightly different. So not always be same. We do hand mudra. Argam is this water offering.
Okay.
Bathing, also water, shower, bathing. Pipe is flower. Depe is incense. Depe alokes is lamb, lights, aloke. Gende is offering to the perform. Nevete is food. Shabda is music. Ding 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 ding. Yes.
Got it.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so then, yeah, please come. Thanks.
Thank you, Kampola.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you.
One more question to
Yes, question can come.
third Dan Petri.
Oh,
Hi, thank you. I'm sorry, I was a little bit late for the second session, and I don't know if you mentioned these mantras on the page 44 and so on. 16 syllable root mantra, the 10 wrathful ones, the 4 families, and did you mention this maybe before? Because I came a little bit late, I misunderstood what was the time.
so I didn't explain the mantra today.
You didn't? Okay.
Thanks.
Maybe. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's going to explain this some mantras is next week.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Yeah, next week is more explaining about this how to subduing. What are we subduing? What is the more essence of the compassion, bodhicitta, which one is bodhicitta, which one is compassion. So we're going to talk more detail next week.
Sandy raised her hand.
Yes, Sandy.
Hi, I was wondering this, and maybe we could talk next week. I just wanted to share where my thoughts were going. Are any of the retinue names, I think they're in Tibetan, so I don't know what they are in Sanskrit, I wondered if any of the retinue are in the like in the mandala for the bardo, you know, for the wrathful beings, the deities in the bardo. Are they part of are the beings in this practice part of the bardo retinue? That's really my question.
I think this all is effort in the Pardo.
Yeah.
Yeah, just you keep focus. That's the main Vajra Kilaya. Then other is all together. It's okay.
Okay, I have lots of picky uni questions like that. I'll maybe save for next week.
You can save next week. You can ask. No, it's up to you.
Well, I wonder about the charnel ground. Why is the charnel ground sort of outside of the mandala?
Channel ground.
Yeah, the charnel grounds are like, you know, in a way, I just thought everything would be included. I don't know.
Channel ground is you know, the I think so many reasons there. I will explain one way because it's due to the sadhana, outer level, inner level, secret level, many different layers to channel ground. Explain. So another is impure, is transformed to the pure perception. See, this channel ground is impure, but it's truly that impures not exist, transformed. Then channel ground is also representative. Our whole body is a mandala. So then your lower part is a representative channel ground. Upper part body is enlightening part. So that's also another way to, I think, like explain. So they have a different ways understanding. And then channel ground is part of mandala because samsara nirvana is inseparable. Even you see separate, but it's truly it's one. I think there kind of many informations there. Any question? No more, right? Okay. Thank you, everyone.
I have one more question. When yesterday, when you talk about all the deity, all the sadhana, all the deity and all the dakini and everything, it's they are equal, they are the same, and they are so we should not just say that, oh, I only like this deity, I only like this deity. If they are the same, they are all together. And if that's the case, is it if I practice one deity, then that means I apply to all the deity. I really don't have to practice all like Achi and Mahakala and everything. And if I just practice one deity, then it can apply to all deity. Isn't it the truth?
Yes, yes.
So if I focus on one deity, I'm really, really good and very like because to me it's very difficult to visualize different kind of deity and visualize, remember all those things. But if I focus on one and I just think about this deity apply to all everyone, to Chinese to everyone, then it's the same.
That's very good, Lami. That's you know, it's a visualize the deity. It's very hard for everyone, not only you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kimberly.
Okay, so we finish.
I think so.
You should have taught that too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Okay,
Kim.
guys. Have a good
Good night.
day.
Thank you, Vanga.
Bye.
Thank you, Sangha.